All right, guys, hello and welcome to my desktop. Just kidding. As if you couldn't tell from the title, we're going to be breaking down as well as supercutting together all the new action game footage from Phantasy Star Online 3. I mean, New Genesis. Because they didn't want to say 3 this early since America just now got it. Today I'm joined by the hunter to end all hunters, the one true Noctis of PSO2, Verum Rex himself, James Tono.
Nice to meet you.
And you already know your friendly neighborhood and sometimes referee, Zach Stat Pearson. So, what's going to happen today is we're going to both go through the basic information that's been translated so far. Sorry, North American, aka global players, there hasn't been a direct one-to-one video planned for you guys. So, hey, look at it like you always look at this channel as a preview or a slice of things to come in your future. Feel free to spread around the video. We're dangerously close to meeting and making partner/affiliate with YouTube, so please subscribe. Or, see if one of your friends would be nice enough to subscribe you show this to. All right, let's get into it. This recap is brought to you by Michael Richardson, aka Ricardo of PSO Lore and, owner and runner of Bumped. Always been a big supporter of his, and I've even helped him gather certain information on the website back in the day. So yeah, shout outs to Ricardo and his whole crew. We appreciate what you do. It's a thankless job sometimes, and I'm just here to make it stay sometimes. Although all the time I wish people would be grateful for shit. All right, first and foremost, in case you guys were not made aware, especially North Americans, the beta for this game is Japan exclusive. So if you got a Japanese PSO2 account, you can get in the lottery. There will be 2 sets of betas. The first one will only have 50,000 people. The second one will also be privatized, but I don't know what the actual count is. And if memory serves, you're not automatically, or you are automatically eligible once you've already been in the first beta. If I get in, yes, I will try to get you guys footage. If anyone I know gets in, yes, I will try to get you guys footage. All right, other than that, for those who missed the previous mentioned information, we have open environments a la Monster Hunter or more traditional MMOs. The story is 1,000 years after the Phantasy Star Online 2 story, and our new enemies, if you can call them new, I did remember to do my research like I said I would. These dolls or guardian dolls actually did predate PSO NGS. There actually is precedence of these as far back as the Sega Genesis games. Because there's an enemy who has a similar design scheme, and it's also called the doll as well. I will try to look up 8-bit sprites and footage of it, but it's a little bit hard because a lot of games in that era don't have a lot of stuff readily available online. But if I can find screenshots or a sprite sheet, I'll try to make sure they're loaded up on screen. The characters are confirmed to be way more customizable, not just in the face department. You can actually mix and match body parts from robot to organic, as well as various sex appeal based organs or things that you would normally not associate with on a male or female. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is you can genuinely make a trans in this game, or you could make a human who has the body of a robot. It gets freaky after a while. Alright, now as far as the new features go, for those who remember it, because I was mad it was gone, and I still am kind of heated that it's gone, Ryurker is finally back. Now, I know that seems very insignificant. That's why we're getting it out the way first before we go into the big stuff. Ryurker in Phantasy Star Online 2 was basically a spell that acted like telepipe. In fact, it was basically a spell that was telepipe. However, in here, it's machines. But instead of just transporting you between various different planets and potentially, various different planets, as well as different locations on your base planet of Halpha, if I'm saying it right, or Halfaria. I think it's Halpha though. Alpha with the H in front of it. You can also use it to go between Phantasy Star Online 2 and NGS. That's kind of cool.
It
That's
is.
really kind of cool. Thus proving my theory that I mentioned in the earlier videos of, I think that these games run on the same server. Because the transfer was no different from loading in between going to your room and going into the hub world in PSO2. And it was like less than 30 seconds it took to get from point A to point B. NGS and PSO characters will allow and PSO2 will allow your character to play both worlds freely, as I already stated. Note the imagery, of which we will talk about. We may watch the 4K full trailer, but our main focus right now is to stream in the actual gameplay footage. Yep, here it is. The story is set on the planet Halpha, Alpha with an H in front of it, where the Arcs are fighting an endless battle against the unknown dolls. I mean, how unknown are they if you got a name for them? But you could have made one up because you don't know what they are. The members of Arcs are made up of skilled people from Halpha and from Meteoron, or Meteorn. We haven't heard this word pronounced in English, so if I mess it up, hey, it ain't my fault. Who are arriving frequently via pods from outer space. Telling you right now, we're gonna go to Meteorn, the planet, at some point. What I want to know is the people that come out, are they a new species or not? That's what I'm curious about. The Arcs appear in New Genesis, but this time they are defending a planet called Halpha from the dolls. The battle against the dolls, let me just highlight and talk, has been going on for decades, but nobody knows where they came from or why they're attacking. The Arcs consist of Halphanian people, but there are other individuals arriving to the planet. These mysterious people are known as the Meteorns. I'm going to say Meteorns. And they arrive from outer space through the pods. The Meteorn have no memory of their life before they arrive. Typical Animu bullshit. And no one knows where they came from. Which means Season 1 and Season 2 story is probably going to be just about that. Many of the Meteorn have decided to join sides with the Arcs to fight against the dolls. Okay, well, what does their species look like? You know? We got a confirmation on the new species, but what the fuck do they look like? Also, yes, we will show you gameplay footage of the new classes, not just screenshots, but I will give a brief description of them. The fighters, the fighters are the first of the 3 new classes from the previous recap, but this time they revealed fighter, gunner, and techer. Fighters are good at close range combat. They use knuckles, which can hit the enemy in quick succession. They can also sway to dodge attacks. Sway? Just say they can also do evade instead of block. Gunners return with stylish roll and chaining systems with twin machine guns. And just so we're clear, we still haven't gotten a confirmation if any other weapons the classes are known for using in PSO2 are now their own class or if they're still connected. They haven't confirmed that, or rather, if they did, they confirmed it in Japanese, and as you know, we don't read or speak it. Techers can perform their usual wand elemental explosions. In addition, Techers can even block attacks. However, I do believe that we still have not got a confirmation if they've got more than one Photon Art skill as it stands. So, I'm sorry, Techers who wanted more hammer-based stuff, me included. I think you got the shaft again, but hey, it's only Season 1. Each class will be able to equip 2 to 3 types of weapons. Okay, same as last time. However, during the closed beta, they will only be able to equip 1 weapon type. Boo! That's the only thing I'm actually kind of mad about. Announcements for new weapon types will be revealed at later dates. Why, though? You can once again select a subclass allowing you to use your weapons from other classes. Notate the screenshot. NGS allows you to equip your subclass weapons off the bat. No finding exclusive types of weapons. Praise reign Jesus. Hallowed be thy name.
That's why I'm clapping right now.
Bro,
they did that.
like, you have no idea how annoying of a cock tease this is for me. Actually, you do, because I mentioned it earlier. Just so you guys know, as it stands right now, there's been no official confirmation of Japanese PSO2 NGS being desegregated. So we might have a situation like with traditional PSO2 where everybody can play together unless you're in the Japanese region. Okay? So I don't know if going into this game, I got to immediately just offload everything onto my Japanese character and then I'm screwed. Or if there's going to be certain servers where they're instead of just being country locked, some servers are international or something like that. And I can go through there, transfer my stuff, and then go back to a global English speaking server where my friends that I know from North America who didn't get on the Japanese version 8 years ago now, 9 years ago. Fuck, it's been that long. Holy shit.
It is.
Damn, I almost kind of feel old. I now know what my older PSO friends feel like when they say, you don't realize how old this game makes me feel. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I've been playing Fantasy Star games since I was 7 or 8 in 1998, right? It's
Mhm.
now 2020, the end of 2020, and I'm starting I'm starting being middle-aged. It really didn't hit me. This when this game came out, I was barely old enough to drink. Fuck.
Wow.
But I digress. Combine two types of weapons with multiple weapon functions and attacks with multiple weapons using only one palette. That may sound a little bit wordy, but what it means is exactly what you see in the follow-up screenshot right here. If you are fighting with a sword weapon, you can use the photon art attacks of any other weapon you have on that palette. So, if you get your sword and your subclass is Ranger, you can go ahead and use Ranger abilities and photon arts on the same palette with the sword. And that applies to anything as long as it's your subclass. Crazy to think about. Why didn't they do that earlier?
Well, one thing would be is haven't been thought of before, or it was up to their. It was up with somebody's imagination, kind of like mine's, so to speak.
Okay. With the multi-weapon system, you can put the actions and photon arts of another weapon type into your main weapon. For example, you can switch freely between sword and assault rifle. This is literally just saying what I said already. Okay, moving on. Now, this is something I thought was funny, because I think I mentioned this to you. It was like, why are these characters running around like Knuckles or Mega Man? And they are. You can run, you can dash, you can hover, you can double jump, and now you can wall kick. That's some Mega Man shit to me. Just saying.
Hey, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, because I don't hate climbing, because that's cool. You're adding another layer of depth to your open world when you can climb a mountain or go up a mountain. Here's the thing, though. It's faster to wall kick. And you're telling me this motherfucker can wall kick? Go ahead, New Zero. Go ahead. However, unlike the Mega Man characters, you don't sink when you swim, and you can actually swim. Getting that Xenoblade Chronicles feel right here. But I don't know, and we still haven't confirmed, so I'm not going to tell you guys point blank. You can fight in or underwater, but you can swim. So if you see something in the distance and it's a faraway island or something, I promise you, you can probably swim over to it. There hasn't really been any confirmation of invisible barriers, so I'm going to pretend that there aren't any, like most MMOs. If they don't want you to go someplace, they just put a high wall, or they just put enemies that are too strong for you to fuck with at the time.
That kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter from the Wii U. You fight monsters underwater. I think it was 3 try.
Wasn't that like the only game where you could do that too?
The only game.
I find that very fucking weird because they put it on the system with the least amount of sales. You would think a feature like that would carry over at some point.
That feature was magnificent. Sad it's not on World though.
Yeah, I'm still kind of mad, but to be fair, I didn't get to play it. They have an entire weapon class or weapon type that's only been in China, and that just annoys the fuck out of me. All these years, they got one weapon class that's only in China. What the fuck? Bring it over to anything. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so our mags or persicoms or insert generic cliche AI bot here, especially since this thing looked like it came out of a Wally. I can't remember that really
Oh,
gangsta.
Eve, Eve for Wally.
Motherfucker
It
look like
looks just
Eve to me.
like that.
It looks like Eve mixed with the little robot thing they had in the first season of Gundam.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly. Hmm. Just needed to be green.
World's best iPod. Mags in New Genesis are quite different from their PSO2 counterparts since they no longer support you in battle. In New Genesis, they act more like a helpful partner who can become a portable terminal in the story. In addition, they react to new facilities in the open field as you approach them. That doesn't tell me much. How do they react to it? And these are the reworker devices I mentioned earlier. They do exactly what I told you they do. Not going to recap. Now, there's another one I like. They call them instance quests, but I call them field quests. But they're in a cocoon of all things. Now, the way these work, cocoons are scattered across the field. These allow you to participate in instance quests, which you can perform solo or with the party. These quests appear to have various objectives designated under main missions and side missions. For example, while the main mission wants you to reach the end, the side missions will task you with challenges such as clearing it within 5 or 10 minutes, or receiving less than 10 hits, etc., etc. So basically an e-trial inside of a dome.
Pretty much.
The training cocoons showed during the demonstration appear to present a reward of 1 skill point. So yeah, looks like we're going to be hunting down these cocoons.
Yeah, because sounds exciting. Really exciting.
I mean, we actually get to earn skill points without leveling. I'm down for that. Emergency code trial. See, that's what it sounds like when you are fluent in English and you say that shit. Emergency trials can occur randomly, just like in PSO2. Okay. 2 new trials revealed today showcase the arcs intercepting the Doll's control aircraft and the clearing out of an assembly point. I actually like the fact that they're being more creative with these trials. I like that. As you were going to see in the footage, one of them was basically just stay on the platforms and whoop ass until you get to the primary platform. I like the fact that they're more dynamic as well as vertical now. Now the region mag sounds a lot to me like a tree or a guild team boost. Listen to this.
That's a big ass mag.
This gigantic mag will give a boost to all players on the ship.
That's a big ass mag.
Everyone can participate by feeding it various materials to increase the boost rate. There appears to be a social boost and a personal boost. For example, the social boost increased the EXP rate by 10%, and the personal boost increased the rare drop rate by 10%.
Zach, did I forget? Did I forget to mention that's a big ass mag?
No, you did not, good sir. That mag is dummy thick. What that ass do? Not the mouth, what that ass do. Emergency quests can occur randomly at certain areas in the field. And the hub city is called Central City. Again, getting that Xenoblade Chronicles vibe. Not that that's a bad thing. I did hate the hub world music when you go into the city. I would literally turn the game on mute. Oh my god, it sucks so much. Your quests are now called Task, which I don't know why they felt the need to change the name. But here's how I like food now. You can create various food that provides boosts to attack and photon points. Materials can be gathered from trees and wild animals. So instead of just going to the traditional
Gathering.
gathering. Instead of going to the traditional EX drink or drink shop in your camp ship, you literally just make and eat food. I kind of like that aspect. That's a little bit more Monster Hunter.
Definitely.
Now the part we all want to know about. Item enhancement. The item lab so far has the following features: grinding, limit breaking. Now that sounds very, very cock-teasy. Ability affixing, saw that coming. Potential unlocking, free present, and multi-weapon. Now I'm curious how the fuck that works, because if all you got to do for multi-weapon is just have 2 weapons in your setup at the same time, what does this do? You can grind your items to make them stronger. The demonstration appears to be using the NT grinding system. Special ability affixing lets you add effects onto your weapon. In the demonstration, they affix a sword by supplying it with 10 times C power, level 1, and 10 times C form soul, level 1, capsules. This led to success rate of 100%. You can get no higher than that. For Power 1 and 90% for Form Soul 1, it appears each capsule adds a success rate for their specific abilities. So, for example, 1C Power Level 1 equals plus 10% Power 1 success rate. 1C Form Soul Level 1 equals 9% Form Soul success. I think I get it. So you can get the ability, but you can get items that directly boost up the odds of success for that specific ability. I think.
So they took away the potential of using fodders that way to gain percentage.
No, I think the new fodder is how you boost up percentages now. There's a new fodder, and they simplify. Hey, look, I take my victories where I can get them. They simplified the shit. I'm happy with that.
That's good.
Yes, very. Ifeyani, you play with him maybe once or twice ever, but this is almost damn near what he wanted them to do. If they were going to put in a fodder system for abilities, make it so you can get the abilities, you just have to find something that boosts up that chance that's not like a rare drop and shit. I like that. You know what I think? I think if you get like power level 5 or power level 6, instead of, oh, you got to find power level 5 booster, just let me stack up a bunch of power level 1 boosters. That would be cool. And just simplified in general. Okay, multi-weapons. This is what I was curious about. First, for multi-weapons, first you select your base weapon. Then add the weapon that will be used as the material. The fuck? Once you finish the process, your base weapon will gain access to the second weapons category. Oh, fuck. You have to fuse them together.
Seriously?
Yeah, let's do it. First, you select your base weapon, the weapon you will be using, and then add the weapon that will be used as the material. That means that second weapon is probably where you're going to be able to get the photon arts from. And also look at that final screenshot directly above them. I can't read the Japanese, but look, it shows sword and rifle combined together.
Yeah, I see that.
Damn.
So basically, if I want
to just use a garbage weapon, so that way we don't have to worry about, losing something epic and important. That might work. Okay.
So basically,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so basically, if I wanted to add double saber
photon arts to your sword.
Oh. Okay.
Here's what I'm thinking though. They'll probably let us skate by every time you change class, or if you get a class mix, you can just go and take one of the big good weapons you got as a primary, and then the sub weapon can be some piece of shit level 1 thing you get from a basic bitch NPC store, so that way you can still get access to the photon arts. Or what they mean is, once you do those photon arts, it transforms into whatever weapon you fed it. So if you fed it a shit weapon, your photon art damage is going to be shit, no matter what your subclass is, because it's a very low level version. See, that needs more clarification, because this is very ambiguous.
So also, that means...
Go ahead.
So that means the weapons that we have in PSO2 has meaning now.
I guess you can say that. We just don't know how deep the meaning will go.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's something to speculate on right there. Okay, I'm gonna just say this right now. I'm not about to sit up here and fucking go over finger movement ability and emotes. Come on now. Like, I feel like there shouldn't even been a section devoted to that shit. I will do communication though. Shortcut words, group chats, auto words, and symbol arts will continue to be available in NGS. In addition to this, will be stamps as another form of communication you can use. So that they did that in PSO1, didn't they? Pretty sure I remember that. Switching between PSO2 and NGS at the character login screen, whether you want to log into PSO2 or NGS. Okay, fine. In addition, the block changer in PSO2 allows you to switch to NGS. See, I called it. The games coexist on the same servers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is talking about how brand spanking new those PS3 era graphics are. Which, hey, I'm glad they did it, but it doesn't need much. I don't need to say much because, well, they mentioned it fucking damn near 8 months ago. We're good. Excuse me.
So this renewal graphics engine. I mean, I can barely see any difference. I mean,
Bro, NGS graphics are going to be the standard for PSO2 regular. That's how you have to look at it. Here's what I commend Sega on. Sega's level of snitches for PSO2 are practically non-existent. I commend them on hiding the graphic engine update as long as they did. No one saw that shit coming. We all just thought when they made a new game, they was going to use a new shade of graphics. So, kudos to you, Sega. This feature is scheduled to be released in February. No word on when Global will receive it, so I'm not going to sit up here and say Global's going to get it in February. But if they're trying to keep everything as close to 1-to-1, even though there's obviously some things that are looked over and skipped past or just weirdly modified, you'll probably get this in March. Global people, yay. Not that far behind. I'm happy for you. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, now let's get into watching and speculating on that good footage. All right, you got your window open for the footage?
mm-hmm.
All right. We're not going to watch all 56 minutes of this, by the way. There's a good 20 minutes of it that's legit just fucking them making a character. Okay, count of 3. Hit spacebar. 1, 2, 3. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I know that's very anticlimactic, but I did it on purpose. PSO2 New Genesis Prologue. Yay! Hello, Japanese host and hostess. We don't know who the hell you are, but you seem very excited to be doing the job that you do, and we thank you for coming. So we're just going to skip right the fuck along. Do we really need to watch the new intro or continuation expanded intro? There's a 4K version of it that I'm going to leave in annotations. I mean, do you want to speculate on this, or do you just want to embrace what it is and move on?
There's no sound though. But all I can say is they actually have vocals to that intro.
Bro, I purposely took the sound out so we're not competing with it. Remember, this is analysis. We don't need the sound. We need each other. So yeah, moving on. Let's see. When does actual gameplay shit start? Let me see. Oh yeah. Go to 4 minute and 13 seconds. All right. So from what it looks like, they remembered hit stop exists. I know that sounds weird, but I think the hit stop is something I want to run by you because it might just be my screen. I think the hit stop is altered based on how much impact or damage the initial move is supposed to do. Because if you go back and look at the Hunter and all these other physical classes, they do have hit stop, but you don't really notice it get longer. It gets extended when they do some of their bigger moves or their charge photon art stuff. Like rifle, you ain't gonna really notice hit stop with a fucking rifle, but you know, yeah, like look at the force. The force has to charge up. Oh, and for those who weren't aware, when a force or any photon art involving magic is used, or tekuniku, as y'all like to have me say, they actually change which photon art tekuniku they do. So for instance, Foey becomes Ra Foey, and Barta is going to turn into, I believe it was Gibarta from what it looked like, or it turns into, what was it? Was it Rabarta or Sabarta, that targeting icon? Now notice the fighters and the hit stop that happens.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see, the final hit had the biggest hit stop extension. But it could just be just because it was a cooldown animation. And of course, you got the JoJo fist. For some reason, there will never be a game where someone fights with their fist that comes from Japan where there isn't a JoJo fist. I did notice there was a parry move, but I don't know if it's if you dodge the move or if you hit parry. But once you come back from it, your character does a little very small condensed energy blast in front of them. You can just hear somebody saying "muda muda muda muda" or "udra" or some shit. Now, Gunner's what I'm the most curious about, not just because I love Gunner, but what I want to know is Gunner actually going to use a new weapon besides rifle? Because remember, they said every class can only use two weapons at a time for the beta. Well, rifle has the launcher, and we didn't get a confirmation if launcher is going to be in the beta. So the next other thing is going to be a fucking T-gun. Also, did you notice Gunblade didn't come back? I think Gunblade is gone, bro. Like, gone, gone.
No, don't say that. I want it back. I want it back.
Bro, you have luster.
It won't be. It won't be the same for NGS though.
And that's true. Actually, this is something I'm kind of curious about. I think the reason we haven't seen that most basic of basic weapons is because Gunblade is going to go to its own class. I think there's going to be a class that has the Gunblade and it's a brand new class, or it's a rehash of an old class and it has a new secondary weapon. What you think?
Sword and pistol form, I believe.
Oh yeah, all you Tekker people and Force people, you actually have a block now. Congratulations. You now have what everyone's had since 2001. I'm not even being sarcastic, but I realize that it can easily sound that way. Here's something I'm kind of curious about. Okay, so pause real quick. All right, so we can use every single weapon automatically on our palette. The only downside is we only have 3 slots on the weapon switch palette, right?
Yeah.
We can also take a weapon and fuse it into another weapon. So while you're using that weapon, you can use the photon arts of another weapon. It'll switch to that other weapon, or it'll switch to a default version of the weapon. They didn't really clarify, but I'm assuming it'll switch to the actual other weapon. They didn't tell us if we could desync the weapons or defuse the weapons. Did you notice that?
No, I was thinking it's just like Hero. You know how Heroes photon switch. I mean photon art weapon switch, right?
Yeah, I know. But they literally didn't tell us. So does that mean that if we fuse a bunch of weapons, say I got a sword and I fuse twin dagger and I fuse twin machine guns in my sword. Oh wait, you can only do 2 at a time. Oh, actually, fuck, did they? No, they didn't tell us how many we could do at a time, did they?
No.
Well, more than likely, you could probably do every single other weapon, but you could still only put on up to 4 photon arts on your palette, unless you put them on your hotkey bar. In which case, they would probably not let you do that because that would be broken as shit. But at the same time, in PSO2, you can literally put an entire hotkey bar that is nothing but photon art. So you probably can. I don't think anyone realized that. You can probably put every single weapon, fuse it into one primary weapon, and then have your entire hotkey bar be nothing but photon arts, or half photon arts and the other half a healing item or something.
Yeah, because we only have just the rest of the spot.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that opens the door to some distinct possibilities, but at the same time, is Sega ready to have us do all that? I think what may happen is you can fuse in one other weapon, but on your palette, you can still put other photon arts. So if there's 6 photon arts for each weapon, you fuse the weapon, but your palette only holds 4. Let's say you do 2 for the base weapon and 2 for the weapon that got fused with, right? So that means that, boom, you got 4 more slots on your hotkey bar. Well, you got 9, but realistically, 4 more you can use for combat. But at the same time, if you're playing on the pad, how easy or hard is that going to be for you? I think, I hate to say it, but I think I might actually use keyboard and mouse for a new Genesis. And just so we're clear, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's bad for me because that's not my natural way of playing. But if playing on a keyboard means I can numpad every single move on my list, or more than 4, I might do it. But at the same time, there may be some type of function or macro we can set up to where that's not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little bit sad though, and since we're paused at the time is 8 minutes and 8 seconds, bro, there's no new elements. Look at the bottom of the stat screen for the weapons. Fire, lightning, light, ice, wind, darkness. We ain't getting no new elements. Where's Earth? They used to have that shit. It's what you're walking on.
Yeah, that's missing. That's the only thing that's missing.
Thank you.
Like what the hell is Earth at?
Bro, Wind wasn't even in PS. I don't think Wind was even in Phantasy Star Universe. Wind damn show wasn't in Phantasy Star Online. And I was like, oh, we're in. Okay, well, Earth's gonna show up next. Complete the Captain Planet trifecta, or I guess septifecta. I don't know how fecta factors into that counting system. Someone correct me in the comments if it's even real. We out here looking like the Avatar, but we ain't got no Earth. I'm actually kind of sad about that.
I'm disappointed, really.
Yeah, and there's as far as new class, this is something I actually want to see, but they haven't done. Bro, we never get a new class that utilizes techniques mixed with photon arts. We have compound attacks that are basically super strong mixes of two technique magics, or a really stupid strong special move, which it's still in the game. They did show the one for Hunter, but it had a different logo, but I saw it and I recognized it immediately. But here's the thing. Where's the guy that uses Fire Fist, or, a flaming kick, or flaming sword, or fake sword that's made out of fire element? Where's that shit at? Why are we still not got that?
The staff is not thinking.
Sega giveth and the Sega don't think about, instead of take away in this case. But hey, that could be something that could happen in a future class. But the way they're doing things, it looks like they just want to take PSO2 and rehash it. Not that, well, let me phrase that. That is a bad thing technically, but due to the nature of video games, what is a sequel's job? To update, upgrade, and rehash in a newer or more interesting and unique format what came before it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still sad about that though. But hey, cross your fingers. Maybe Gunblade, instead of having sword and gun mode, it'll stay in sword gun mode, but it'll have an elemental mode. Yeah, because think about it. Shift is a really good feature, but shift can be more than one thing, like with Phantom. And if you look at all the advanced, aka successor, because apparently I have to say that now. If you look at all the advanced / successor classes, bro, they all got a special function until you get to Itwal. When you get to Itwal, all the weapons had special functions that have to revolve around shifting. Whether it's shifting to a different photon art with the wand, or shifting into a counterattack with every other weapon on there, or hell, go back to the wand. Shift action, a literal defense barrier. So when we get new hero, when we get new Phantom, if they are even called that, can you imagine what the fuck they're gonna do? Holy shit, man.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
And then think about this. You can still use a fusion weapon. So you got sword, and you got twin machine gun, and you got talisman. Let's be honest, who really likes talisman? Well, when talisman shows up, fuse that talisman with twin machine gun. So you got the normal, you can throw out, you could have magic moves on your hotkey bar. Throw out a little BS talisman, assuming talisman actually lets you throw it long range still. So you can do your long range close up magic, and then once that move hits, immediately go into twin machine gun photon art. That would be genius. That would make people actually give a shit about talisman.
This, yeah, just like you said. And then if you have Barda, and those techniques actually cause effects. Like you can actually freeze an enemy. So I was thinking, freeze enemy, use TNG, and just blast them. Smithereen.
So right, and then here's everyone. We know the best way to use your tech attack stat on a hero is with a talisman, right? What if your entire talisman is nothing but photon arts for another weapon, but you got the magical spells put down on the hotkey bar? So that way you could freeze somebody in place. And if you got a really, really hard to pull off charge sword move, boom, you switch to sword when you do it. And then when you get the sword, guess what? Twin daggers. So you hit as hard as a hero, but you're using the weapon with the highest combo amount. So potentially you could be doing more damage as a hero with a sword fused with dagger than a fighter with the daggers. Oh my god, just stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
They really making these classic classes be successors on their own.
I mean, well, if you stop and think about it, yeah, because first off, this is a new game with the same old classes. They gotta upgrade. But I know people are gonna be mad, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. The next class I want to see come out for this game, whenever we get it. I want it to be an advanced class. Maybe they'll still call them successor. I want it to be an advanced class that's completely new, and then they work their way backwards. We get the brand new successor class, advanced class. You know, let this motherfucker use katana, but katana can only be used with this class. But you can still fuse the old weapons into it, and or something like that. It's got the wired lance, which dumbest name I've ever seen for a weapon because it's not a wired lance. And then it has it can go and use the pet tact. I don't know what the hell it's gonna do with it, but it's there. Maybe they'll say it's a one-handed dagger and they'll call it the tact or something like that. Tact is lame. I'm gonna just come out and say it. That being said, they do need to add more weapon types and not do what they did with Phantom. Oh, hey, we need to have a scythe for Phantom. You know what? Let's just call Rod Scythe. Yeah, it's basically the same weapon, right? Hell no. Why not give us an actual scythe with scythe combos? Bro, can you imagine if you have a Photon Art where you can hook one of the big enemies and then just run and that motherfucker has a chance of being stunned or toppled? Bro, that would be some Monster Hunter shit right there. Oh my god, I could literally just stare at this one image, which isn't even combat, and come up with a bunch of stuff. But we need to carry on because I don't want to have this thing running, you know, past 30 minutes. And we are currently at the... That can't be right. Have we been recording for 43 minutes?
Oh wow. Hey, we've been stuck on this because I'm just surprised it's maxed to 15. Really?
What? Well, I mean, it's a beta, bro. You know that's gonna change over time.
I know.
Okay, now this is example gameplay of just the multi-weapon shit. But I really want a confirmation. If someone can find out, hey, let us know in the comments. Can you desynth the weapons without losing the sub-weapon? Because, you know, what if I'm spec'd out using a really, really powerful combination with two of my most powerful weapons? But I want to change it because I'm going to tell you right now, you know me. I don't hate Force, but I rarely, well, I'm not going to say I don't hate Force. I hate using Force in PSO2. But if you tell me I can put all my magic spells on my hot bar, and I could make it so if I get a special effect or a stun effect, run up on them with my fist, or sit in the background and hit them with my twin machine guns. Really, twin machine guns are mid range. I'm down for magic at that point. I remember Gun Tekker. Gun Tekker used to be a thing. I didn't play it much, but I remember it. Imagine if you're a Force and your weapon can turn into the grenade launcher. You got the best of both worlds at that point. Oh, well, you don't get a lot of R attack boosters. That's okay. I got the strongest R attack weapon. And that's them being Mega Man. So let's scrub some more. 1017. Hey, we swimming. And they literally didn't show anything about swimming. Like, is there special ingredients you can only get from swimming? What's the situation with that? Is it just to get to small islands where you could possibly fight a different type of enemy? Like, why do I swim? On to part 2. Or part 3. And this is just them showing off the class. I'm going to pause real quick at 1041. Going from left to right, top to bottom. Hunter, Ranger, Fosu, Fighter, Gunneru. Well, it's probably Gunner. And Tekta, which really wish they would stop giving it two names. They know people are dropping the T, so they might as well do it too. I'm just gonna say they found a way to make Gunner more fun. When I was in Phantasy Star Universe, dude, I was eating, shitting, and breathing Phi Gunner. I legit was. Because I liked everything it could do. It was basically using all of the dual wield weapons on one class. Not two-handed weapons, the dual wield weapons. I love it.
You're gonna relive it again.
Yeah. Nothing in PSO2 felt exactly like Phi Gunner. Because if you get a fighter, okay, you got twin daggers. Okay, that's cool. You got your double saber. All right, now I'm starting to see the similarities. But then, where was the twin machine gun? Gunner. Oh, but wait, there's more. You can't use every single weapon that your class combination can use. You can only use designated amount. And it was like 10 out of 60 or 50. There it is. Okay. Hey, go to minute 12 and start it at 25 seconds. Now, I'll tell you when to pause it or the time to pause it at. I want to see if you caught this. Okay, pause it at 12 minutes 33 seconds. I bet you that's the compound technique for NGS for the Hunter class. Look at your heart bar and look at slot number 2. And then start playing the video. He makes a bigger sword and then slashes down with it.
Yeah, that's the complex.
Yeah, that's the complex super move. That's gotta be what that is.
That's what it is.
Also, here's what I'm curious about. Does 4 still get to have like 6 or 7 different fucking complex moves when everybody else only got 1? That'll piss me off. Ooh, bro. What if I'm a fighter or a gunner main and all my weapons have rod fused in them so I can use 7 different complex photon arts instead of just 2? Oh my god, that would be stupid mean.
That would be mean.
Because think about it. I could have a weapon that's got an element that the boss or the enemy resist. But since I'm beating it up and I built up my meter, I can go and use, dark light. Or not dark light. Laser beam, dark fire. And it'll be stupid strong because guess what? I got the rod. That would be, oh my god. I'm actually going to try to do that. Okay, well, we're watching the emergency trial stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I actually like the idea of how they're doing it. A gunship in the background actually being more effective and annoying. And then this emergency trial stuff right here where the shit just floats in the air and you gotta fight them on different platforms. Y'all could separate or go at them at a team. Bro, I like that type of stuff because see, here's the thing I like to tell people. The reason I like playing with other people is not for a competitive aspect. The reason I like playing with other people is for the cooperative aspect. Yeah, fighting games are nice. I play those. I normally don't fuck with online. Not because I'm too sucky to rank up online. No, because I'm at a point where I feel like rage quitters shouldn't exist. And when I deal with them, that makes me not want to fuck with an online rank mode. But guess what? I got Streets of Rage. I got Devil May Cry 3, the only one that has co-op in it. And I grew up with shit like Double Dragons and, Fighting Force, which was supposed to be Streets of Rage 4 originally. Fun fact, or depressing fact, depending on how you look at it. And I just keep thinking to myself, the only time you see people team up in a co-op game is when they're teaming up to go up against a bunch of other people. Why can't we all team up to go up against some threat that the game developer made for us? That's why I like playing cooperatively, primarily on MMOs so much. Because the goal is almost never, yes, I know PvP is a thing, but the goal is almost never majority, hey, everyone in this MMORPG, kill each other. Beat the shit out of each other. Unless you're playing, Black Desert Online, in which case, fuck, that is all over the place. I like the idea of being able to work in unison to get shit done. So if I'm on a field and I see a big-ass enemy and I can't fuck him up because my weapon resistance is too high, and I need to build meter, I can tell you go run interference while I hit him from the back, quite literally. And okay, I hit him with the giant Shinku Hadouken beam of his weakness element. That's the bomb, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, like I like that ability. I do find it a little bit fun and finally ironic that it took having a brand new game for us to get enemies, though, as you can see at the 16-minute mark, of enemies that actually use advanced technological weapons. And I don't mean, oh, it's a machine and it does machine attacks. No, I mean, these dolls are alive and they have their own weapon list. That dude had a rifle earlier. A fucking...
There, there was one. Oh, there was one doll that has a rifle, but it act as a sword.
transform its weapons like we can. I like it when the enemy can fight like me on some level. I wonder if the dolls have a food element or item to them. I wouldn't want to eat them because I'd probably get become radioactive, but very curious how they're going to handle doll drops. But yeah, moving on. I mean, well, not really. No, I'm going to let y'all enjoy the footage. Enjoy the footage, YouTube. Oh, it's over. On to part 4. Now, part 4 is more like just talks about the hub area and the hub world. And as you can see, I didn't devote a lot of time to it, and it's pretty much obvious. I don't care about finger movement and emotes in the middle of a fucking action MMO. Okay? I just don't. You can't make me. If you like it, hey, that's good on you. You make it do what it do, homie. But here's my whole thing. I like that there's a day and night cycle, as you can see on the screen right now. I like that and I like that they hinted that there will be a weather system, but at least on the part of the planet we're on, we're not going to see a lot of different weathers. I do find it a little bit weird that, you know, they took us to the shop area. They showed us this giant hub and shit. But they didn't explain what half of the stuff and areas you can go into are. Or rather, if they did, it wasn't in English, so I apologize for saying that they didn't do it. But I want to know, are there still guilds and teams? And if so, do we get a designated area or a designated like colony and shit? Because there is no reason for them to have all of the seats in this area the way that they do, unless there's going to be some situation where groups can huddle together privately. Also, fun facts. Pause it real quick. 1836. That's a demon, aka Duman, but I say demon because do-man sounds stupid. That's actually a demon character. He got a horn in the middle of his head. Do you see it?
Yeah, I do see it.
So, I don't know if maybe they've become the Meteorans in this game, or they're just saving the Meteoran class or species for later because they do or look unique in some way, shape, or form. Personally, the way I feel about it is, look, I know everyone they say they hate when certain species or races have better stat abilities than others. Here's my thing. That's the whole point of having them. If you have a bunch of species that do all the same shit and all their stats are practically unilaterally the same with small differences, why even have them at all?
Take Fantasy Star Universe, for example. Beasts have their own transformation. Duman have one special ability.
They have a super move. Or super mode, sorry.
Yeah.
But then their stat lines are dramatically different than what would be on a human or a Newman. And those were different. No one complained about this shit the entire history of Phantasy Star Online. But for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's because people I won't say spoiled, but because people fell in love with Final Fantasy 14 system, they want every other MMO to utilize it, but they shouldn't feel forced. Because, well, look at what I said. If I'm a Newman, and I want to naturally be a character that has high physical attack damage, but I'm a Newman, I'm going to go and massively upgrade and affix a bunch of crap on my physical close range weapons. Because I may never use magic, right?
Yeah.
But if this was PSO1, if I was a Newman and I wanted to use a lot of combat moves, why would I play a Newman at all? Ears? No. I would go to a human or a cast because they have better physical attack stats and go from there. It's the same with the Dumans. They keep saying that they don't want there to be a drastic difference, but every time they make a new species, the potential for it to be a drastic difference is there. I just wish they would maybe, I don't know, give us the ability to turn it on and off. But that would be way too much work, or I guess it could be potentially abused, or people will call it unfair. I think that if I'm a human, my stat line, no matter what level, should be able to be on par at the bare minimum with every single other species. But I think if I'm a cast, low magic, even though I can use it now, that's fine, and high range attack or high strike attack, you know, low HP, just something to balance that. But when you have everybody and the only real difference is cosmetics, what was the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
Because think about it. Look at the character creation we're going to look at later on.
Yeah.
You can be a male with female clothing on and give yourself tits, and you can also have robot arms or legs or a torso. You can literally be a head attached to a machine. But for some reason, you don't want... I know, it scarred me too. But for some reason, you don't want to give us stat-based, bonuses. That's a very classic RPG trait. Don't get me wrong, though. It's not a bad thing that they didn't do it, but it is a missed opportunity. Yeah, that's the best option, I should say. Missed opportunity. Okay, we're at the 22-minute mark. We have arrived at character creation, which is the bulk of the end of this video. We're not going to go through all this shit, but I'm going to go into some highlights so y'all can see some creepy shit y'all can do now.
No.
Hey, you don't have to look. You don't have to look. Now, notice this is a male character. He has some very long Owen Wilson type medium length hair at 39 minutes and 28 seconds. Now let's speed forward to how she finished him up. Oh, look. He's in the equivalent of a Tekker outfit. Although it looks very feminine, it's male. And if you notice, I didn't catch this at first. Someone had to tell me this. This motherfucker has a Speedo for underwear on. Look at the screen on 4537. His underwear is a Speedo. You do you, boo-boo. Now, look what this woman made this man put on. Let me speed forward to 4646. She gave him titties.
Why she gave the man
You already know the answer. Don't make me say it.
I can't breathe.
4620. He is officially some form of trans. I don't know which trans he falls under, because she could change the sex of this man and still give him masculine features and tits, or she could make him stay a male and still give him massive tits. So, yeah, you can do that now. Also, let's not forget, you can eat.
When their right mind do this.
The nice little Japanese hostess lady. That's who.
I'm gonna throw her off the
You could
cliff.
even take that male's head and put it on an all-cast body if you speed forward to 5030.
Are we Murphy from RoboCop now?
Bro, it is so fucking creepy, man. However, I will notate, because I didn't catch it at first because I was very, very disturbed by what she was doing. You can layer like 6 or 7 accessories. Did you notice that?
I was surprised. I said, wait, more than 4? I know a whole bunch of people who are caste supremacy will enjoy this, really.
I'm trying to get to the exact point where you get to see it. I will say this though, human skin on these robots with these new graphics creeps me the fuck out, man. I can't remember what movie it was, but it was the one where the crazy girl was trying to keep her boyfriend, but she was a robot. That's what that should remind me of. Okay, 5220 and pause. Look at all those fucking slots you can have.
Jeez.
It goes to like 10, but they never scroll all the way down. 5223.
Jeez, that's more than, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will say 12, 13-ish.
What happened is that there's a limit to how many you can put on one body part. or you could just have a bunch all at once. Because if you notice, when they try to overlay the head, it capped them at like 5 or 6, but there was still more slots.
There was still more. There was still more. I said, "Oh my god, that's freaking more than I can manage."
Oh my god. She wasn't even trying at this point. She was just probably trying to kill time. This is just fucking. This is fugly. 7, 8, 9, and okay now look. The scroll. Hold on, wait. The scroller is literally in the middle of the whole menu, and the bottom one is 9. So that means she can scroll down 1 or 2 more times. So holy shit, I think you can have up to 12.
Yeah, that was right. Either 12 or 13.
Oh my god. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I think 7 is the most amount of accessories you can put on one body part. Because look at the screen when she tried to hit number 8 in the center. She got a little warning icon and basically said, nah, you've reached your maximum level of crazy, honey. And she kept trying.
Like, how can you go to the bathroom with all that accessories on you?
Like, you ain't dressing for the winter, obviously.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, here's something I figured out later. Your hover animation, it's not limited to cast anymore. A human, or an organic, or an inanimate can have hover as a run now.
That's cool.
I do not want to see that very nice Asian lady's search history, ever.
He could be having some. Well, wherever floats her boat, really.
Everyone says that until they do something fucked up. That's why I stopped saying that. Well, you said it was okay. I never said it was okay. I didn't know you was this depraved. Well, you said whatever works. Like, I didn't know you worked that way. That happened to me a few too many times, so I stopped saying that. It's biting me in the ass and the balls. Bye, Asian people. We love you. Enjoy the game. Can't see me waving. Why the fuck am I waving to a computer screen? Okay, so, James, let me just ask you. Did you enjoy the presentation? And the second question is, what would you want to see happen in the next one, or what do you want to see happen in general in New Genesis?
First of all, I enjoyed the presentation, despite on what the female host just did. That just scarred my eyes. It was very enjoying. The highlight was the multi-weapon, multi-weapon, and what you can freaking do with that. The other thing,
bro, was, Xbox already has the trailer up in 4K. I found a link to it. It's on Sega's official Japanese. No, it's on the Phantasy Star channel, which has the least amount of subscribers.
Least? Wow.
Bro, they got 85,000. This game has millions of players, but the official channel only has 85,000 subscribers.
They need more. They really, really need more. Because how many players out there? It's like a million players playing.
No, they got they got more regions, but they have, I believe, currently over 5 million, or just about 4 or 5 million, because they got 2 million from the Japanese server, or more than 2 million, and they confirmed they got a million almost in the first couple months on the US server.
Mm-hmm.
So if you combine those, that's about 3-ish right there. But also, we don't know how many regions they hit 1 million in. They've only discussed hitting 1 million in North America and Japan. But the game is also in Europe, or either it came super late to Europe. Like, I think Europe just got global 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Don't quote me on that. But obviously, NGS is going to be the real picker-upper.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. All right. So, okay. All right. Now that being said, what do you want to see them put in NGS or talk about in the next NGS trailer or broadcast?
Is it possible for planet travel? If we're still in Alpha, is there another planet we can travel?
I feel like you already know the answer to that, but okay, fair enough. All right, for me, the highlight was, well, you said multi-weapon system, so I can't just say multi-weapon system. The highlight for me was the, for lack of a better term, new version of a fixing. Because as you know, the primary reason I spend more time getting new, stronger, close to in-game, if not in-game weapons than I do a fixing is because the fucking cost. Here's my biggest problem. It's not that they made it complex. Yes, they did simplify it over time. It was the fact that the fucking cost of both time and in-game currency. You can say that PSO2 on some level is pay to win or pay to get a lot of money. It kind of is. But here's the main thing. If you want to get 8 slots on a weapon that you know you're going to keep for a long time, first and foremost, almost no weapon you're going to want to keep for a long time, as in the near in-game weapons, the highest rank of 15, they almost never drop at 8 slots. They drop at 6, maybe 4, if you're really unlucky.
Or sometimes 2.
Yeah, and you got to add those slots manually. And in order for you to do that, you dropping at least 1 or 2 mil. But Zach, 1 or 2 mil ain't a lot in PSO2. You're right. You're absolutely right. Here's the thing though. It all adds up. Because once you get those slots, you're losing all the affixes, even if they're super good, unless it's an S-type, which are permanent on that new weapon that you want to keep. And guess what? S-type slots on a weapon stop at 5. And almost no weapons have S-type slots. There are less than 20 weapons per weapon type that have S-type slots, if memory serves. S-type slots don't even start showing up until, 13-star to 15-star weapons. But the majority of weapons go from 3-star to fucking 12. They're not adding new 13-star weapons anymore. They're barely ever adding a new 14-star. Almost every new weapon that comes out in Phantasy Star Online is a 15-star ranked weapon. But guess what? They only come out like once every 2 months, maybe 3.
Every 2 months.
Yeah, and then some of them, they're not actually stronger than what is considered the in-game weapon. They're in between weapons. They're stronger than a 14-star, but they're not the best 15-star. And they'll release them at the same time as they release new in-game weapons. So you're almost in a state where you're never not spending money for this craziness. Now, don't get me wrong. It's an MMO. You're supposed to spend your in-game currency on shit you're going to use or need. You think I don't know that? The problem is that the way they did it, it's unnecessarily bulky and convoluted. And time consuming if you're starting with a weapon that already doesn't have what you want on it or the ability to receive what you want to put on it. If I buy a car and I want to change the engine, do you need to change all the glasses and the windshield and the wipers and the car battery and the tires and get an oil change if you want to change the engine? Or do you just go and take out the old engine and put in a new engine?
Take out the old and new?
Yeah. And they didn't do that until New Genesis. So yeah. That, and we already said the new type stuff. Other than that, the next thing I would like them to show is that, let us know or show us new things that we can do in crossover promotions. Hopefully, redesign crossover promotions. That's what I mean. Let us get the ability to just buy the shit outright for a small microtransaction fee, not gamble for the shit. But Zex, they gotta make money. Yeah, but guess what? What's gonna get you more money? People who sometimes go into the gotcha gambling system, gotcha as in gotcha money, and sometimes get what they want, get frustrated, not play with gacha for a couple months, make a lot of money because they sold the shit they didn't want. Or people are going to be more likely to spend money when they don't have to gamble and they can just buy, oh, look, I can get this new hairstyle for $1. Okay, cool, I'll take it. Oh, I can get this new cosmetic from Personify from Sword Art Online. Expect a new Sword Art Online crossover Phantasy Star Online 2 video to come up in the near future. You know, it's a very simple thing. You're going to catch more flies with sugar, with shit, than you will vinegar. You know? If you and me got a life and it's 2020, we a little bit broke, it's hard to get work, all this other shit, and I got to spend between $10 and let's say $100 to possibly get one item I want. Not even the full set, one item I want from the newest crossover gambling versus everybody just pay $1 to get what you want. What you think you're going to get more people doing? Paying the $1 fee. Obviously. Real talk. They make millions upon dozens of millions of dollars off the mobile Phantasy Star Online 2 game, and it's basically garbage as far as I'm concerned. But the primary reason is because you can go and buy AC directly, and you can go and take that AC and use it on your Japanese account if you're in North America. So now people who are never going to even care about the mobile game, Sega gets profit from.
And Sega knows this.
Yeah. But I think the problem is that someone in lower management or middle management hasn't told and explained to upper management, yo, listen, you guys will get so much more money, literally, if you just let people buy the DLC stuff. What if they do a Final Fantasy VII crossover? I don't want to have to spend $300 to get Cloud's Buster Sword as a camo. I don't want to spend $300 to try to get Sephiroth's katana as a fucking camo, or his coat, or Tifa's everything. But if you tell me, oh, $1 for any one item on the character's outfits, $5 for the full thing, $10 for everything, take my money, Sega. You take my money. You spend that goddamn money, Sega. You get yourself a nice hooker with that money, Sega. Is anyone really going to be mad at that? No. But yeah, that concludes this video. Hey, Sega, don't forget that since you're giving characters nose, they need to have a nostril, because I noticed that the characters didn't seem to have nostrils in the trailer.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it really is. It's one of those things where you don't really realize it until you see it in a video game.
Not to mention they don't use their mouths. Like, their mouths is entirely closed. So how the hell are they breathing?
Well, they're not technically humans, or Hafarian, so maybe they've evolved past the need of using the nose. But hey, I like the smell of bacon and cheesecake. I want to keep my nose.
Exactly.
But anyways, with that being said, I'm bringing this video to a close. Tono, it was always nice meeting you. Remember, guys, please subscribe. We're very close to becoming partner/affiliate. And on top of that, if you want to find us, hey, we're always on server 2 in the Japanese version. We don't know what we're going to do specifically for New Genesis. If we're allowed to cross-play with everybody, we'll do it. But more than likely, we won't be able to. So I'll be sure to at least get on the PC version, because I don't think I'm ever going to buy an Xbox gaming system. That being said, I'll see you guys when I see you guys among the stars.